I needed more money to build my awesome universe of noobs. And we had a lot of people out in the world who believed in the noobs, but a lot of the VCs were very hesitant and skeptical because they're bombarded with deals constantly. So I said, you know what? If the end consumer is the most interested in my product and my characters, then I'll just go directly to them and see if they're interested in backing it and investing in it. And sure enough, they were. So it really solved two problems for me. One was that I needed the capital to grow my company. And number two, it was really, product market fit validation for us. We're a game company, and using equity crowdfunding enables us to build a community of people who are financially incentivized to download our games and to spend money in our games and become evangelists for our products and our noobs. So it was a really cool way of accomplishing multiple goals that we had at once. We were able to raise the capital we need while also building a community around our product and our company. And once we had some success on Netcapital, that really opened my eyes to the power of equity crowdfunding and just the ability to go to the end consumer and get them to support your company. And sure enough, once we had success on Netcapital, we were able to go back to the old-fashioned way of fundraising. We had a lot more success because we were able to point to the success that we had on Netcapital. Ultimately, I looked at Netcapital as a tool that made it easier for me to raise capital. So in the past, I was using a convertible note, and I would send it out to only accredited investors, and it would spend weeks, if not months, negotiating terms or just waiting for them to not be so busy so they could follow up. Versus Netcapital, now I can just send a link to people, and I can not only send it to accredited investors, but I can send it to literally anyone and everyone. And so just opening up the pool of capital, the pool of people that I have to raise money from, and then using technology to make that process easier. Now I'm promoting a link instead of 20 to 30 page complicated convertible note documents. So it made the fundraising process simpler and made it more open for me to raise money from a larger crowd of people. We have a lot of investors who ask us how we're going to exit and whether we're going to do an IPO one day. And the Netcapital process actually uniquely prepares you to do that. We had to get our financials audited. We now have over 300 investors in our deal. And there are a few other requirements to going public that just going through the Netcapital process helps you, puts you that much closer to being able to accomplish that goal, which is not something that we realized going into it, but it's been a nice benefit after the fact. If you are a hard worker, if you know how to raise money, it can make it that much easier for you, and it allows random people who you've never spoken to see your fundraising efforts and climb on board and ride the momentum, which is really cool. The best days for us were always when we would get some big investor to put some money in, and then you would see all of these random people follow on top of them. So I think that there's a lot of little things that go into it that I think make up the sum of the value that Netcapital really added to us.